All right, we're recording.
Okay. How did you get it?
All right, so I was in college, and I was dating. I'll say pretty much dating this new guy. We both were new to the school because we both went to Auburn, and we were just getting to know each other. Had been dating for a couple, went on a couple of dates. Went over for like a kickback, if you want to say, and drinking, having a good time, and we end up having sex. Okay, so the next morning I woke up in so much pain, and I was like, okay, is it just from sex? That's just, my mind says it's just from sex, just typical wear and tear. That's what I was thinking. So after that, I kind of like got up, got ready for class because we both had classes that day. And I got home and I was like, I'm in so much pain. What is this? And as young ladies, our mom always say, if it's something weird, just look, type thing.
Yeah.
Just look and check it out and see what's going on. So I looked and I was like, what is that? It was so many blisters. I was like, what is this? This is weird. I never had this before. I had never had anything ever. The worst thing I had was probably bacterial vaginosis, which I'm sure you hear about in your health class. So other than that, I never really had anything. So I was like, I know this is something serious. And the first thing that popped in my head was herpes. Now, I never knew much about herpes. I was only 20, 21. So I didn't know much. We hear it on movies and people joke about it, but we don't really know what it is. Like, nobody really talks about it. I knew about cold sores, but I didn't think that was herpes. So I was like, oh, okay. So after I seen it, I called him. Well, I texted him and I was like, have you ever had anything? And he was like, no. He was like, just go to the doctor and see what it is. So I was like, cool. I called my friend. She's in nursing school. So I was like, what is it? She went to her computer and she was like, it's herpes. I was like, no, don't say that. I was like freaking out. She's like, based off how you're telling me, that's what it is. So I kind of knew already before I went to the doctor. And then I went, and then I didn't get to see the doctor because the doctor wasn't in. So I had to wait till Monday, which was like the death of me. I had like fever-like symptoms. So I felt like I had, no, not fever, but flu-like symptoms. So, the chills, the aching body, the fever. I had all of that. Swollen lymph nodes, discharge, itching, burning, all of it, and blisters. Okay. I will say it's not the same for everybody. Some people it's no pain at all. None. Like, they don't even see anything. Sometimes it comes up like cuts. Like you can like get a paper cut. It can come up looking like that. Some people it's like a pimple if you shave. These days we all shave. So if you're shaving, you may think, oh, it's just a razor cut, or I just got, a razor bump. My whole thing is don't ever just assume. Just always get it checked because it's not what we all see on Google. It doesn't look like that for everybody. Some people it's worse. Some people it's not. Mine was pretty bad. Well, to me, it was bad compared to other people. It's not nothing, So my whole thing is very important when you have something that you're not used to. It's just different. If it's itching and you burning, anything, always go to the doctor. It's the best thing to do. Don't just like, oh, it's nothing. It's something because that's not normal. So,
yeah. How long have you had it?
I had it for 8 years.
How did you get tested for it? Like, you went to the doctor?
Yeah, I went to the doctor. When I went in, since I had blisters, they did a culture. Culture is like the best test to take. I'm sure you learn in your class right now that, they don't want us to do blood tests. They're really trying to take away the blood test because at the end of the day, it can be a false negative or a false positive. So they really don't want us to do that. They want to wait. Sadly to say, wait until you get herpes for you to find out that you have herpes. It's kind of weird, and I think that's not the best way for us to protect ourselves, because by then you have it. It's like, what can I do? What can I do to prevent? And I always say use protection, but it's not 100%. That's the only thing that's fully not 100% with condoms, that HPV and warts. That's not completely can be protected by condoms, but it can reduce. So, yep, she just, went down there and scraped it, which is like the death of me. Like, I felt like she was trying to kill me. Okay. And they took a culture, they went into the bag, they looked at it, and they let me know that I had it. But that's the only way. If you do want to find out, just say, if you want to go get tested, you'll have to go in and ask. Most people think that, herpes is included in STD screening. It is not. It's only gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV, HPV is not even on there because they can't test for men. But that's something we can ask for when we get our PAPs. Trichomoniasis and bacterial vaginosis. that's really only thing on there. Herpes is not included because it's not really an STD because people can get it from their parents. You can get cold sores from your parents. That's type 1. So they don't include it. So you'll have to go in, you and your partner have to go in and say, hey, we want to get tested for herpes. They're going to say they don't want to test you sometimes. Just say, no, I want to get tested. And they have no choice but to test you. But they have their moments to say they don't want to do anything, but they supposed to. They supposed to. Or worst case scenario, go somewhere else.
How was it telling your partner about it?
He was easy peasy. He was so supportive. I was lucky. I put it like that. I was lucky. He was very supportive. He's the one you fine. It's okay. Let me know what's going on. He didn't go with me. He had classes. He did see me before I go. I went and he was like, you'll be all right. It'll be fine. Breathe, type thing. He let me know what's going on. I didn't talk to him the whole weekend. I was calling my friends crying and boo-hooing because I just needed my friend's support. But then when I told him what it was, he was like, I'll go get tested. How are you? Are you okay? I was like, no, I'm not okay. I don't know what's going on. And then I started freaking out thinking I gave it to him. And a week after he came back and he said he did not have it. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was scared, but he didn't have it. So I was like, oh, great. So
how did your family, how did they take it?
Crazy. I didn't tell my mom until last year. I did not tell my mom at all. I didn't want to tell her. My mom, me and her relationship is kind of weird. So I didn't want to tell her. I didn't want her to ask me 1,000 questions. So I didn't tell her until last year when I came out about it. And she found out based off social media. Oh, she was pissed. Don't do that,
Yeah. How did it make you feel when you found out?
I was boo-hoo. I thought my life was over. I was like, my life is over. Over. I'm never going to have sex again, being honest. I was like, I didn't think I'd have sex again. I didn't think anybody will marry me. I didn't think I could have kids. And I was freaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm everything they say we are if you have herpes. And we know the stigma. It's not pretty at all. So I was like, but I'm not that type of person. I have my moments, but at the end of the day, I didn't think I was that. But right away, I thought that because it's all I knew. I didn't know anything else. So stop, sweetie. So with that being said, I was devastated. But then I had my friends like, you're fine. Come on, live. You're in college. You kind of got to move forward. And then I told myself I wasn't going to be the stigma. I said, I want to do everything I want to do in life. I graduated with no problems. End up getting married, have 2 kids. You get a little one now. He's mad because he can't touch the phone. Stop.
Do you know anybody else that has it?
Huh?
You know anybody else that has it?
Oh, I know 100 and something ladies. Yes. I am a STD life coach, so I help women with herpes. So last year I decided I want to come out and tell the world. I was like, it's nobody doing it. If we do, we see it on Google, we see it on YouTube now, but at the end of the day, it was nobody looking like me talking about it. And at the end of the day, we are affected heavily. So I decided I just want to come out, talk about it, and help those women cope, get through it and overcome the stigma. So I know a lot of women, a whole lot, a whole lot. So it's very common. It's very common. It's they say 1 out of 4, but I think it's 1 out of 3 now that have it. Most people have type 1 and they don't know it's herpes. And then if you have cold sore and you perform oral sex on somebody,
yeah,
now they have genital herpes, So most people like, oh, I've been getting cold sores since I was little, and they don't think no big deal. I was the same. I'm like, oh, it's wintertime. We see everybody with cold sores, and we're not thinking nothing of it. And, people do stuff and they don't think anything of it, but it is contagious at that state, So.
Yeah. Would you have done anything different to not have it? What would you do to prevent it? Yeah.
The biggest thing is using protection. That doesn't go out the window. But the biggest thing I wish I knew more about it. I think that was the biggest thing because we are taught use protection all day. I'm sorry, that's my husband. My son called him. Hold on 1 second.
It's okay.
Yes, honey. Yes, it is. All right. I'm sorry. I had to call every phone in the house. I was like, no, don't call every phone. He thinks something's happening. But that's my son calling his dad. So, but the biggest thing, I did use protection. So I'm like, okay, so that means I had to get it before him, So that kind of scared me a little bit because I had a guy come and tell me that he had it, but I didn't have it. And that's the biggest thing, because I'm like, I didn't have it. So where did it come from? And that happens to so many people where you can't track it. And that's the scary thing, because sometimes it takes a minute to come up. A lot of people say, oh, they get it right away, which they say it's a lag time between 2 to 10 days. I don't believe that. I just don't. I just do not believe that, because it's a virus. I can go out and eat Chick-fil-A today, and by 2, let's say I eat Chick-fil-A now, by 5, I can have a stomach virus if somebody didn't wash their hands. So my whole thing is still a virus. So I tell people, I don't believe it's a 2 to 10 day. I think it just depends on your body. It depends on how your body's going to respond. So I would just say, don't always assume it's the person at that given moment. It could be beforehand. It's just now coming up, or it could be that given person. You just can't really pinpoint. I have heard hundreds of stories of people, it wasn't their partner, and they've been with that person for 5-6 years. You're like, where did it come from? And they're not cheating. They're not doing anything. Even in marriage, it have happened. So it lies dormant for some people. They don't know, or the symptoms are so light. Like I said, they have pimple, or they're having an itching and burning. As women, you can have just things going on, and it's no big deal. You think it's a yeast infection or something like that, and it's not. And your doctor will give you medicine for that, and it's not that. And it keep coming back and back and back. You're like, it's something else. And they're like, no, that's what it is. And you're like, well, I can't do nothing but believe you. I don't know,
Yeah.
But I would say, most importantly, I wish I knew more. If I knew more, I think I could have protected myself more, and I could ask more questions, and I would have got tested for herpes more. But I didn't know. I went in like, test me for everything. And they were like, yeah. I was like, ooh, I'm good. Go back out there, and I wasn't good. And most people believe they're getting tested for everything, and they're not. And that's why so many people have it, because they don't know this is including their STDs. It's not included in testing. So I'm happy to tell you guys early, get tested for it. Please, just get tested. It's nothing wrong. Just get tested and ask for it. Don't assume, because if assuming, time here, I assumed that I was tested for it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So.
Those are all my questions. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, no problem. Anytime, hon. Anytime. And anytime. How did you find me?
We were just on YouTube, and we found your email. We're like, oh my gosh, we should contact her.
I'm happy. Well, you called me and I was asleep.
Yeah, I sounded like I was like, maybe she was sleeping.
And I was like, sure, no problem. Whatever you need.
We were so happy for the rest of the day, my group and I.
Easy peasy. You have no problem. If y'all need anything else, no problems at all. But most important is just making sure you get tested. That's the most important. And knowing you have to ask for it, because most people don't know that part. But it is very common. Very, very common. Most important to know, type 1 is cold sores, what we see on people's mouths, which we can have on your mouth or you can have in your genital area. And then type 2 is typically just the genital area. It can be moved to the mouth if you do have oral sex. They both kind of go hand in hand. They can go wherever. But the ones you see on everyone's mouth, that's like,
thank you so much.
Big old dog. All right, honey. Thank you, Victoria. I'm happy you reached out. Talk to you soon. I'll send this right over. Text me your email.
Okay, bye. Thank you.